Good morning, class. I hope everyone is fine, and I hope, hopefully, that the study material which have been provided to you, you have completed that in your fair copy. So now this is our fourth session. In the previous session, means in the third session, I taught you about noun gender and noun number. Okay. So in gender, I told gender is a category of noun, and gender shows whether the thing or the person is in male, female, common or neutral. So likewise, according to that, you can divide gender into four parts. First part is masculine gender. Masculine gender denotes male creature. Okay, masculine gender denotes male creature, your father, your brother. Now second, feminine gender. Feminine gender denotes female creature, your mother, your sister. Okay, now common gender. Common gender denotes, it does not denote only male or female creature, but it denotes combination or the collection of both. For example, doctor, officers, nurses too. So we can say that common gender includes both male and female creature. Now the last one, fourth and the last one is neuter gender. Neuter gender denotes only non-living thing. For example, pen, pencil, book, coffee. So these are your neuter gender because it is your non-living thing. Okay. And I have told you about that how you will convert masculine gender into feminine gender. I told about four ways. First one was by adding an entire by changing the entire word. Okay, boy, girl, husband, wife, king, queen. I told. Now the next one I told by adding e double s. Poet, poetess. Only you are adding syllable e double s and you are getting feminine of that masculine gender, particular masculine gender. Third way I have told you that if you are getting the word, the masculine word, so the last vowel you will change. The last vowel you will change for framing feminine, and when you are changing the last vowel, so you will just drop it. Okay, you will leave that last vowel and beside that you will add only e double s. For example, actor changes into actress. A-C-T-O-R, actor. O is our last vowel, and when we are changing into feminine, so we are getting A-C-T-R-E-S-S. So here we have dropped, we have not written, we have not used O, which is the last vowel used in actor. Okay. Now the fourth and the last way I have told you how will you frame masculine, how will you change masculine gender into feminine gender. If you are getting noun in the compound form, compound I have told you, if you are getting more than one word as noun, so it is your compound noun. So if you are getting that, so you will change the first word or the second word. Means only the main word in that particular word you will change for making feminine. Grandfather changes into grandmother. Okay. So grandfather changes into grandmother. Grand is same. In grandfather we are getting grand. In grandmother we are getting grand. But here the main word is father and opposite of father we are getting mother. So likewise stepfather, stepmother, son-in-law, daughter-in-law, we are getting this kind of words. So it was about only gender. Now one more thing I have taught you, that is noun number. In English grammar there are two types of number. First one is singular number and the second one is plural number. Singular number denotes only one thing. Only a single thing is denoting by singular number. For example, marker. Okay, this or board. Only one board you can see here. Only one. So it is your singular number only. But when you go into plural number, so you will get more than one thing or one person. Understood? If you are getting more than one, so it is showing, it is denoting only plural number. If I am saying markers, it can be 2, it can be 3, likewise. Here 2 markers are there, so it is your plural number. But if only one I am showing, that it is your singular number. Difference is this. Singular shows only one thing, one person, whereas plural shows more than one. It can be 2, 3, 4, likewise. It can be infinitive, but it has to be more than one. Okay. Also, I have told you some rules that how you will change, how will you change the things into plural number. many different kinds of rule I have told you. First one I have told, if in the last of the word, if you are getting S, double S, CH, X, so while framing plural number, you will add ES. Did I tell? Yes. Now the second thing I have told, if you are getting CH, this CH, but if it is giving pronunciation of K, if it is giving pronunciation of K, so you will not add this ES while framing into plural. Only you will add S here. Okay? Remember this. Now next thing I have told, if in the last of word you are getting Y. Okay? In the last you will be getting Y, but before Y, if you are getting any vowel, so you, for making plural, you will add only S. Boy changes into boys. B-O-Y-S. Here, boy is your singular number. So when we are changing into plural, if you are writing B-O-I-E-S, it is totally wrong. Okay? Because in the last we are getting Y, but before that we are getting O, and O is your vowel. So you will add only S here. B-O-Y-S. This is right. Understood? Now, if in the last you are getting Y, but before Y, if you are getting any consonant, except A, E, I, O, U, if you are getting any consonant, so for making plural number, you will not use this Y. You will remove this Y for making plural number. And at the place of Y, you will use I plus ES. So you will use I-E-S. Okay, class? For example, Teddy, T-E-D-D-Y. So for making, you are getting plural number T-E-D-D-I-E-S. You will not apply, you will not use Y there. You will use only I-E-S there. Next is, if in the last of the word you are getting F or F-E. F or F-E if you are getting. So for making plural number, this F or F-E you will not use. But at the place of F or F-E, you will use V plus E-S. Okay? So you will use V-E-S. Understood? Suppose W-I-F-E. Wife. So here we are getting F-E. So when we are changing into plural numbers, so you will write W-I-F-E. You will not use for making plural. You will use V, and along with V, you will use E-S. So W-I-V-E-S, it is the plural form of wives. Understood? Now, the next thing, by changing entire word. Sometimes it happens for making plural number, you have to change each and every letter of some letters or the word. For example, mouse changes into mice. Person changes into people. Or you can also use persons. Understood? Now, one more thing is there. I forget to tell you that day. We can only change or we can only make plural number of countable noun. Understood? If you are getting countable noun, then only you can change into plural number. Countable noun, I told you already, the thing which we can count, that is countable. For example, if you are getting water, W-A-T-E-R, water is your countable noun. Water is countable or uncountable noun. Can we count water in the form of 1, 2, 3? No. So water is your uncountable noun. Understood? Water is your uncountable noun. But sometime or maybe in some book or anytime you can get the word waters. W-A-T-E-R-S. If you are getting this word waters, so never think that it is the plural form of waters. Because water is uncountable and we cannot frame in plural of uncountable. Okay. So here water is uncountable. You cannot change into waters. But here if you are getting water, so it means meaning of waters is changed here. Understood? Meaning of waters is changed here. Here meaning is changed and meaning is seas. Seas, ocean, we can simply count it, and sea is your countable noun. So you can get the word water, which means seas. If you are getting plural of water, so the meaning should be seas only. It is not the liquid which you are drinking. Understood? One more example. Some words are there. I am giving examples, so don't be confused. Good. Good is a quality. The quality of human being is good. Okay. It is a quality only. An abstract noun which we cannot use by our five senses. That is abstract noun. So good is also your uncountable noun. Is it? We cannot count. So it is your uncountable noun. But if you are getting goods, Goods, so don't think and never think that this goods is your plural number of this good, because here meaning of this goods is change. Okay, here if you are getting goods, it means meaning is change. Here meaning is items or things. Understood? Understood now? So if you are getting goods or goods, and if you are getting in plural number, so it means meaning is only things or items which we can simply count it. One more example. Never be confused in all these things, because as you know, even a single word has more than one meaning. Now, good I have given, waters I have given, two examples I have given. Likewise, some other example is also there. One example is sand. Okay, sand is a particle. How can we count? It is impossible to count sand. So it is your uncountable noun. But if you are getting sand, so you can make the plural form of sand. But here again the meaning is changed, because here the meaning is not your particle, but here the meaning is desert. Okay, so here you are getting the meaning as desert, so you can simply count it. Understood? So never be confused. Only just always remember, uncountable noun cannot be changed into plural number. But if it is changed somewhere, so meaning should be different. Understood? Now, just come on out this session. In this session, I will, first of all, I have taken this 5 words from your exercise, from your worksheet of chapter 2. Name the gender. I have taught you about the gender, kinds of gender. Only you have to see and you have to write about the gender. Which kind of gender is used here? First one is flower. It is flower. It is your masculine gender? No. It is your neuter gender. Because when we pluck flower, so it does not hurt itself. Understood? But we should not pluck flower. So it is your neuter gender. Now second is tourist, visitor. Okay, a traveler. Suppose male can be tourist, female can be tourist, both can be tourist. So here tourist is your, when both are coming in a word, so it is your common gender only. Now next, horse. Okay, horse. The opposite of horse or the feminine gender of horse, yes, you know very well where. So horse is your masculine gender. It is a male creature. So horse is your masculine gender. Now the next one is paper. Paper. Paper is a living thing. No, paper is a non-living thing. Okay. So paper, non-living thing, is known as neuter gender. Okay, last? Yes. Now audience. Audience. Male can be audience or female can be audience. Both can be audience. So again, when both is coming, so it means it shows only common gender. Okay. Now, today I will teach you about case. Noun, case. In the chapter noun, we have completed definition of noun, what is noun, kinds of noun, And after that we have completed noun gender, noun number, and now we'll have to complete noun case. Why we are studying about case? What is the need? Do you know? Or does anyone know what is the need of this? So case shows the relation of noun or pronoun in a sentence. Understood? This case shows the relation of a noun or pronoun in a sentence. Understood? Now, it can be your noun, case can be your noun, or case can be your pronoun. So, there are 4 principal cases. Understood? There are 4 principal cases. The first one is, please note down it. First of all, write the definition of case. Means what is the need of case? Case, please note down. Case shows relation of a noun or pronoun in the sentence. Case shows relation of a noun or pronoun in a sentence. And there are 4 principal cases. There are 4 or just principal you can write, or you can either you can write main or only case. The first one is your subjective. The first one is your subjective case. Okay, and subjective case is also known as nominative case. Subjective or nominative case. Now, after first one, the second one is your objective or accusative case. Either you can say objective case or you can say accusative case. Third is your possessive or genitive case. Okay. Now the fourth one is, fourth and the last one is your vocative case. Okay. So you can see, and please write it. There are 4 principal cases. The first one is subjective or nominative case. Either you can say subjective or you can say nominative. Second is your objective. Either you can say objective or it is also known as accusative case. Third is your possessive or genitive case. The last one is your vocative case. Okay. These are the 4 principal cases. So there are 4 principal cases. First one is subjective or nominative. 2 names are there. Second is objective or accusative. And the third one is possessive or genitive case. And the fourth and the last is vocative case. Now, what is subjective or nominative case? Okay. So I am going to erase this. First one is subjective or nominative case. So what is subjective or nominative case? Subjective case or nominative case, it when in a sentence a noun or pronoun used to or shows the subject of a sentence or of a verb, so it is your subjective or nominative case. Okay, as the name subjective shows, subject only. I told you what is subject. Subject is the doer of the action, the person or the thing who is doing the work, that is called subject. Okay, so in subjective case it gives focus only on subject. Okay, for example, John gave me a book. Here I have written one example. John gave me a book. Okay. So as I have told you, in a sentence, the noun or pronoun who is doing the work of a subject is said to be in subjective case, and it usually gives the reply of what or who. I have already told you what, WH word, who, again it is WH word. And subjective case or nominative case gives the reply of what or who. Okay, so John gave me a book. I have written. Who is giving me a book? Who is giving? Who is doing the action? Yes, of course, John. This boy is doing the action. So it is in subjective case or nominative case. Understood? Understood, class? When in a sentence you are getting a subject, so the person or the thing which is used to show the subject, it is your only subjective case or nominative case, and it usually gives reply of what or who. Now the second one is, I think this is clear to you. One more example I am giving. She wrote manuscript. Okay, she wrote manuscript. Here the word is manuscript. It means it is the word, this word means an old book or document prepared by hand. Okay, an old book or document which is prepared by hand, that is called manuscript. So here the sentence is, she wrote manuscript. Now, who wrote manuscript? Who has written this? She. Okay. So she is doing the work. So she, this word is in subjective case or nominative case. Okay, class. I think subjective or nominative case is simple to you. You have understood it easily. Now, always remember, subjective is related to subject. And what is subject? Subject is the doer of the action. Always remember, subject is the doer of the action, and subjective or nominative case always usually gives reply of this WH word, what or who. Okay. Now the second one is our objective case. The second one is our objective case or accusative. Either you can say objective or accusative. Both are the same word which is given to, both are different word which is given to the same case, objective or accusative. Now object, I have told you, object is the receiver of the action. The thing or the person who is receiving the action, that is known as object. So in objective case you will get either a noun or pronoun who is used as object of the sentence or of the verb. Okay, so in a sentence when you see that object is used, so that means the word or the thing which is used as the object, that is given into objective or accusative case. And objective case usually gives reply of whom or what. Okay, objective case usually gives reply whom or what. Now, object has two types. First one is direct and the second one is indirect. So, direct is giving reply of what? If in a sentence we are getting the reply of what, so it means the object, that is the receiver of the action, so that is your direct object. But if we are getting the reply of whom, okay, in a sentence, so that object or the person which is used as the object, it is your indirect object. It is your indirect object. If it is giving the reply of whom, it means it is your indirect object. And if it is giving the reply of what, so it is your direct object. Now, John gave me a book. Who is giving? John. So, John is your subjective case or nominative. Now, what is giving? What is giving? He is giving a book. So this a book is your objective case because John is giving, and what he is giving? He is giving a book and we are receiving a book. So if we are receiving, so it means it is an object. So a book is their object. One more thing. As I have written whom. John gave me a book. To whom he is giving? John is giving to me only. So here we are also receiving the reply of whom. So me is also your object and it is your objective. These both are your objective case or your accusative case. Understood, class? Now a book is your direct object because as I have told you, what gives the reply of if what is coming, it means it is direct object. So a book is your direct object where as to whom? Me. So it is your indirect object. Understood? Now in the second example, she wrote manuscript. What did she write? What did she write? She wrote manuscript. So what we are receiving? She is writing, she has written, she had completed. Okay. But now what we are receiving? We are receiving manuscript. So it is giving reply of what? So what is? We are receiving manuscript. So manuscript is your object. So we can say that manuscript is an objective case or accusative case. Understood? And manuscript is which kind of object? Whether direct or indirect? It is giving the reply of what? So it is your direct object. Okay? Now I think this subjective case, subjective or nominative, and the second one is objective or accusative, that is you have understood well. Now the third one is your possessive case. Okay? Possessive case is also known as genitive case. Whether you can say possessive case or you can say genitive case. So in possessive case you will get the noun or pronoun which shows relation or ownership in a sentence. Understood? Ownership means it is my thing. So who is the owner of that thing? Only me. So if in a sentence a noun or pronoun is showing ownership, so it means that the word means the particular word is given into possessive case. For example, John's book. Okay, John's book. Whose book is that or whose book is this? It is the book of John only. So who is the owner of the book? John. So this word is given into possessive case or genitive case. Understood? Rita's ball. Whose ball is this? It is the ball of Rita. So here, Rita, who is the owner? Rita is the owner. So this word is given into possessive case or genitive case. Understood? Now, in possessive case, you will use this apostrophe s. Apostrophe s you will use in possessive to show ownership. But here in three ways you will have to use this apostrophe s for showing ownership or possessive case. The first one is when it is in singular number. Okay, when it is in singular number, so how you will use apostrophe s or possessive case? For example, as I have written John's book, so John is only a boy, a particular, it is only one, he is only one, so it shows singular only. So after John I have made apostrophe s, then I have written book. So likewise the second one, boys boys copy. Okay, here I have written boys copy. So boy, it is showing only singular number, only a single boy is there. So for showing ownership, we are using apostrophe s here. Understood? When it is given into singular number, so you will use full apostrophe s, completely like that. Now second is when it is given in plural number. Okay, when it is given in plural number, so how you will use apostrophe to show ownership? Now boy, for making plural of boy, we will add only s. It is boys. Okay, boys is your plural number. So if you are writing boys copy, it is totally wrong. Okay, it is totally wrong, because when boys is already in plural number, so when you are using in plural number to show apostrophe s, you will just put boys. Boys will be like that only, because it is plural number, we cannot change it. But after that you will put only apostrophe. Only this apostrophe you will put, but you will not put after apostrophe s. Understood? Only this apostrophe you will put. Boys copy. And the meaning is coming that it is the copy of boy. Understood? So for plural number, don't put apostrophe s. Only after plural number, plural noun, put apostrophe to show ownership or possessive case. Now the third is when it is non-living thing, or when it is neutral gender. So how you will put apostrophe s, or how you will use possessive case? Just see here. Suppose if it is given school's name. If you are writing or if you are using a school's name, then it is not correct. It is incorrect, because school is your non-living thing. So with non-living thing, never use this apostrophe s. Understood? But for showing ownership, just do one thing. Don't write like this. Don't write like school's then apostrophe the name. Only write name of the school, because it is non-living thing. So always write name of the school. And for showing ownership, here we are using preposition of. Okay, preposition, everyone knows preposition shows relation between another noun or pronoun in a sentence, or preposition, which is position before, okay, before noun or pronoun, that is called your preposition. So here of is showing ownership. If it is coming as the name of non-living thing, so never use this apostrophe s. It is wrong. But you will have to use of this preposition for showing ownership. These were the three ways I have told you. Now possessive case, I think that is clear to you. Possessive case in a sentence if a noun or pronoun is showing position or ownership or relation, so that is called possessive case or genitive case. So till here three cases we have completed. Okay. Now the fourth one is your vocative case. What is vocative case? Just pay attention here. In vocative case, when you address a person or thing, okay, when you address a person or thing, when you call or address a person or thing, so that particular name to whom you are addressing, that is your vocative case. For example, never give up Sam. Here, to whom I am addressing? You can see I have addressed to Sam. To Sam I am saying that never give up. Okay. So this is your vocative case. Understood? Vocative case shows a noun or pronoun in a sentence to whom somebody is addressing. Understood? Never give up, Sam. So it is vocative case. Look here. Look here, Niti. To whom I am addressing here? To whom I am saying to look here? I am saying to Niti. So it is your vocative case. Understood? Now I think there is not any problem in cases. Okay. Please recall all the things with me. Noun cases. Cases are the words or the noun or pronoun which we use in a sentence to show the relation. There are four principal cases. First one is subjective case. Either you can say subjective case or you can say nominative case. Next one is an objective case. Objective case you can say, or you can say also accusative case. Third is your possessive case. You can say possessive case or you can say genitive case. Last is your vocative case. Okay? There is only a single name which is given to vocative case. There is no synonym or no other word. Now, first one is your subjective case. What is subjective case? Subjective case shows the noun or pronoun in a sentence which is used as the subject. Okay? If you are getting any subject in a sentence, so that subject, whether it is name of a person or thing, it goes in subjective case. Now, second one is your objective case, and subject is the doer of the action. The person or the thing who is doing the work, that is called subject. Now, second is your objective case or accusative case. Objective case means it shows the object of the sentence. Object can be either your noun or pronoun. Understood? Either noun or pronoun is your object. So objective case shows a noun or pronoun which is used in the sentence as an object. There are two types of object. First is direct and the other one is direct. An object is the receiver of the action. The person or the thing who is receiving the action, that is called object. Now, usually in objective case, you will receive the reply of what or whom. Understood? What or whom. When you can receive the reply of what, so it is your direct object. But when you receive the reply of whom, it is your indirect object. Now, third is your possessive case. Possessive case is also known as genitive case. In possessive case, it shows position or ownership. Okay? Okay, understood? It shows position or ownership. Rekha's book, Arsh pen, so it is only named as possessive case. To whom it is going to be handled or who is the owner of that particular thing, that is called a possessive case. Next is vocative case. Vocative case we use if a noun or pronoun we use to address a person or a thing, so that to whom we are addressing or what we are addressing, that is going in vocative case. Okay, it was about cases. Now one more thing in your noun chapter, the last thing is apposition. This thing. Noun case we have studied. Apposition. I think this is the thing which first time you are getting, because as I know in class 6 you did not get this thing and now. Okay, so what is apposition? With the help of an example I will show you. I am writing an example. written missing an English teacher is writing there. Okay. So when you see the sentence, so how many nouns you are getting here? How many nouns? Name of a person, first missing, and after that one more thing, English teacher. Okay. So here finally not more than that, because if it's your helping or auxiliary verb, writing is showing your verb and there is showing your adverb of place. Okay. So here only two nouns you are getting. First is missing and second is an English teacher. So for explaining about missing, we have used this another noun phrase. Okay, it is not, when you see this, so is it giving complete sense an English teacher? No. So it is your noun phrase only. I have told you, when it is not giving complete sense, but it is a group of words. So it is your phrase only. And here English teacher is showing noun, so it is your noun phrase. Here two nouns you are getting. So this noun is explaining about missing. Understood? So this noun is said to be apposition of the first noun. Understood? Because when in a sentence, when you get two nouns or more than that, and if the second one is explaining about the first or the main word, here an English teacher who is missing, or it is explaining about missing. So here it is explaining, it is describing noun. So the second noun is known as apposition. Understood? And always remember, in our newspaper, mostly you can see this kind of apposition in your newspaper or daily magazine. If we don't know how to use apposition, so how will we write this kind of sentence? Simply will write missing, who is an English teacher is writing there. We will add, if you are not knowing apposition, then you will add here who, relative pronoun. Okay. In next chapter I will teach you what is relative pronoun. But here, if you know about the apposition, then there is no need to write about all this relative pronoun. Simply you will put after main noun comma, and then you will write describing or explaining noun, which shows something about missing. And after that, again after completing that describing noun, you will put again comma. Understood? And after comma you will write rest all the part of the sentence, whatever the person is doing here. So the second noun which is used in a sentence to explain about the first noun, it is said to be an apposition of the first noun, or the noun which is coming before. It was an apposition only. Now second example. And always remember, whenever you read a newspaper, please see there, look there, you will get lots of examples, and there you will find that yes, Miss has told us, and it is apposition only. Next is Mahesh, a good player, is playing outside. Okay, Mahesh, a good player, is playing outside. It is outside. I have written Mahesh, a good player, is playing outside. So again you can see how many nouns are there. Mahesh is the name of a person. So the first noun is Mahesh. The second one is good player. Who is Mahesh? Mahesh is a good player. A good player is describing to Mahesh. So second noun we are getting. Now again these words are your goes in the column of predicate. Rest all the part, helping verb, verb, and the next is your again adverb. So here again we are getting first noun and this one is your second noun. A good player is describing to Mahesh. We have put here comma, and after a good player again I have put here comma. Okay. So it is describing to Mahesh. So this is called a position of the first noun. Okay, it is a position of Mahesh, that is your noun. So class, I think now a position is also clear to you. So you can frame many examples from your side too and try to make. So now a position, when we are using in a sentence noun or noun phrases, so the second noun which is explaining, always remember, which is explaining or describing the first part of noun or the first noun, so the second part which is describing, that is called a position of the first noun. Understood? In your book, if you have your textbook, so there you can get the story, a small story is given there about what is called. So please read it and you will get this, just like this, some examples you will get there too. Now in your school website again, it has been supplied some homework or study material. Again you will have to learn as well as to write. Okay, because we don't know when lockdown will be over. So except writing, do one more thing. Please learn all the things in all the subjects. You are getting much time you are getting, you can do it. Okay. So now we will meet again in our 5th session. Till then, goodbye. Thank you class.